Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett appears to be desperately trying to capture her party spotlight, even if it means turning up the rhetoric against Republicans. It's a far cry from her comments before the election when she swore that Democrats would never, ever do this.
Democrats have never endorsed political violence, but he will go to a rally and he will endorse it. This is the equivalent of playing with a loaded gun and then it backfiring on you.
Just a few months later, here she is appearing to egg on some of the agitators against Elon Musk.
I am truly here for very selfish reasons. Starting with on March 29th, it's my birthday. And all I want to see happen on my birthday is for Elon to be taken down. Yes, we are fighting for our country. We're fighting for democracy. We're fighting for our freedoms. And when I say fighting, I'm saying that figuratively. Obviously, everything that I am promoting is nonviolent.
And now she claims Democrats need to punch their opponents.
How do you win elections in Texas as a Democrat? What do you do?
I think that you punch. I think you punch. I think you're okay with you okay with punching. You know, I think, and I love Colin, and I think towards the end he started to punch a little harder. But like, it's Ted Cruz. I mean, like, this dude has to be knocked over the head, like, hard, right?
I mean, Steve, like, to just choose the verb punch, and then knock over the head. It's interesting language choice.
Of course. And, you know, but you can see that this, for her, is working, right? This kind of amping it up and some of the comments we're seeing, and it gets more and more over the top, lower and lower, frankly. But this is what they seem to want in the Democratic Party now. They want this kind of rhetoric. They want this kind of attitude. I don't think it's helping them at all, but it's helping lift the profile of people like Jasmine Crockett.
It's a great point, because some Democrats say they want to fight. It may be a figurative fight, but she's given them maybe a literal one. I don't know. You know, Kennedy, there was this moment of Jasmine Crockett. I think this is probably the most shameful bite we're going to play. Listen to how she talks about Governor Greg Abbott of Texas, who I would remind everyone is in a wheelchair.
Y'all know we got Governor Hot Wheels down there. Come on now. And the only thing hot about him is that he is a hot mess, honey. So yes.
I don't know what her intent was with that, but I find that to be a disgrace.
No, she's trying to demean the governor in order to score cheap political points. She's an attention whore. And it's annoying. So when you are void of ideas, you ramp up the rhetoric. I mean, how incredible would she be if she actually laid out an economic plan for the people in Texas, for her specific constituents, and for families across the country? She would be applauded. She would be celebrated. But instead, you know, she's kind of at the bottom of the barrel. I don't like it when people in either party do it. She thinks she's doing it for cheap points, but it's not grounded in political philosophy, and I don't have a ton of respect for her.
It's interesting you bring up the ideology, political philosophy, and legislative ideas. She even admits she doesn't have those. Listen.
I'm listening, I swear.
Okay, we don't have it, Carly, but I have it in front of me.
Yeah.
So she says this. She says on a Lone Star Politics interview, I should probably be a better politician and tell you, yes, we've got all this amazing legislation, and I can absolutely imagine Donald Trump signing it into law. Not going to lie, I think right now it's about preserving our basics and getting back to some norms. She goes on, no ideas, but she wants to preserve
She
norms.
says right now, I could tell you that, unfortunately, I'm not working towards very much.
Yeah.
That's the next line that she says.
Yeah, I think we noticed.
And I also want to point out that according to the sign behind her, she was at a human rights campaign event, and she's openly making fun of a disabled person.
Yeah.
So just want to point that one out as well. I was recently watching a social media video on how to get a toddler to stop screaming in public. And the advice was to speak really quietly to them because it kind of jars them, throws them off. Like, I thought you were going to scream too. So maybe I should, listen to what you're saying. And I bring that up because sometimes being the loudest in the room and screaming the most isn't the solution to your problem. That's what Jasmine Crockett is doing right now. Maybe the solution is doing something like what Chuck Schumer just did and made sure to not shut down the government. Or also the advice of James Carville, roll over and play dead, Democrat Party. Don't make all the headlines right now. Just watch and wait. And I think a majority of Democrats actually agree with me as well, because according to a Gallup poll, nearly 70% of Democrats think the party should either be more moderate or stay the same. So Jasmine Crockett getting all the headlines, AOC and Bernie Sanders out there talking about the oligarchy. But overall, by and large, if you really want to inspire Democrats, maybe take a step back right now, learn and listen.
Yeah, Rosanna.
I was just going to say that she has said that she's not trying to incite violence by any of her comments, but they're childish. They're childish behavior. And, you know, she's organized TikTok dance parties in the halls of Congress. This is a woman who I think just wants to up her followers on TikTok and social media. And she thinks this is the way to, I guess, gain support in D.C. It worked for AOC, so maybe it'll work for her.
Maybe it will. We'll report back. I'll monitor.